What's up, family? Hey, I want to jump on here and have a real heart to heart. This is going to get kind of heavy for some of you, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Family. And again, this is just for the chosen ones. You know what I mean? In the 5th century BC, Sun Tzu, who was a Chinese general, he was a military strategist, he was a philosopher, he was a writer, he had a great mind. Stay with me. This book has been studied and read in depth by American military personnel as far as the leadership of the military, by corporate America, the advertising companies, all companies that advertise, that put out ads, they utilize the philosophy of Sun Tzu, the art of war. All companies do. Why? Because there's a battle for your mind. They understand how the mind works. All advertisements, all commercials are targeting your mind. Stay with me. The great majority of us don't even understand how our mind works. The great majority of us don't even have control over our own mind. And many of my Christian friends believe that studying psychology is demonic or devil stuff. And I can't even understand the ignorance of that. I can't fathom the ignorance of that at all. Family, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. I sound like I'm mad. I'm not mad. I'm just passionate about what I'm saying. I can't stress this enough. We have to grow up emotionally. We have to grow up spiritually. We have to grow up intellectually and understand that there is a battle for our minds taking place. And if you don't understand that there's a battle for your mind taking place, then you've already forfeited the battle. You're not even fighting. You're not even in control. You have no clue of what's going on. And it's sad because so many of the people that I know think they're woke. And they're so distracted by the stupidness of what's going on, and they don't even see the fact that, man, there's a battle going on for their mind, and they forfeited that battle. They've already surrendered. They've already given up. They've given up by default because they never was in a battle. Family, we have to grow up. I can't stress that enough. We have to grow up and understand that if you don't regain control over your mind, if you don't take back your power of your mind, you are never, ever, 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 ever going to reach your full potential. You are never, ever, 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 ever going to fulfill the purpose of why you came here. You can't reach your full potential. You can't fulfill your purpose sitting on the sidelines, being distracted, playing their stupid games. And unfortunately, so many of us have been beat down by our families and religious dogma and political dogma that we just accept anything and everything that our quote unquote leadership tells us. We just accept and just go with it. Family, man, we have to grow up. You have to understand that your mind is the most powerful thing on your body or in your body. I don't care how strong you are physically, your mind is so much more powerful. Family, you have to understand that, man, I don't care how smart or how knowledgeable these computers are. I don't care what capacity these computers have. Our mind, our minds are so much more powerful. Our minds have so much more ability and capacity. I don't care what they tell you. That's part of the brainwashing. That's part of the dumbing down. They want us to feel powerless. They want us to feel like we're not in control. Family, I don't care what you've been through. You can listen to or watch some of my other videos about all the hell that I've been through. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care what you're going through physically. You have the power in your mind to change all of that. To change all of that. There's been people that aren't Christians, that don't believe in God, that have used their power of their mind to cure their cancer, stage 4 cancer, and every other ailments that they've had. There's people that have used their mind, the power of their mind, to cure diseases that science says could not and should not have been cured. You are extremely powerful when you understand what's going on, when you understand the power and the abilities that you have. Your mind, they can give you a pill called a placebo effect. That's what it's called. They could give you a pill, and it's a sugar pill, it's a useless pill, pretty much, and tell you that it's for whatever ailments you have. And that pill has nothing to do, it's not going to fix the problems. But because you believe in your mind that you're taking the pill to cure your ailments, your body gets cured. Your body gets better. The placebo effect, look it up. The pill was completely useless, other than the fact that it gave you something to focus your mind on, to believe that it was going to, that the symptoms and the problem was going to get better. And therefore, the problem and symptoms got better. People use crystals, people use gemstones, people use so many different things as this tool to focus their mind on to get better. And I don't care what you use. I don't care. Because it's not the thing. It's your mind. It's your mind. If you're depressed, and this is going to piss people off, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? If you're depressed because you choose to be depressed. If you're filled with anxiety, you're filled with anxiety because you choose to be filled with anxiety. Because that's not the normal functioning. That's not how your brain or your mind operates optimally. That's not how it operates under normal conditions. And so you can choose not to be depressed. You can choose not to be filled with anxiety. You can choose not to be filled with anger. I'm not telling you something that I've read. I mean, I've read it too, but I'm telling you what I've experienced. I'm telling you what I know personally. I've been through some things. I've experienced a hell of a lot of things. And people always trip up, man, how come you ain't lost it? How come you didn't get spun out on dope? How come you didn't go crazy and end up in the pen? How come you not homeless and walking the streets and what? Man, people always ask me, man, the mind, the mind. There's people that's gone through worse than I have. It's the mind. How are you utilizing your mind? See, if you just focus on how bad things are, if you focus on what's not going right for you, if you focus on how lonely you are, if you focus on who did you wrong and whoop, if you focus on what the politicians are doing, if you're focused on what's going on in society and what they're feeding you in the news media, man, you're always going to be depressed. You're always going to be frustrated. You're always going to be tensed. You're always going to be filled with anxiety. Family, I'm not yelling at you. I'm not preaching to nobody. Man, I'm just passionate about what I'm talking about. Because I love you guys and I want every one of us to reach our full potential. I want every one of us to fulfill the purpose in which we came here for. And you can't do that playing their stupid games. You can't do that listening to the crap that they spoon feed you. You can't do that if you haven't learned how to take control of your own mind. I don't care what the hell you've gone through. It don't matter. It don't matter. How are you going to respond to it? How are you going to pick up the pieces and find something positive in it? How are you going to utilize that for a good thing? All the stuff that's happened to you, learn how to use it for your best interest. Learn how to use it for the greater good. Find the lessons in every situation that you've been in. Find the lessons in every pain that you've experienced. Everything we've gone through, everything was to teach us something, was to expose us to something so that we could get some greater understanding, some greater insight. And if you haven't gotten that, then you missed the purpose of the experience. And the sad reality is you're going to have to go through it again. And again, and again. You're going to have to keep going through the same crap until you learn the lesson. Once you learn the lesson, then you no longer have to go through those experiences. Once you learn the lesson, then you no longer have to go through that crap. That's mine. Family. I love you guys. Man, I love you guys. I can't even stress that enough. My hope and prayer is that nothing becomes more important to you than understanding how your mind works. Nothing becomes more important to you than you understanding the lessons of everything you've endured. That nothing becomes more important than you being able to learn how to take those lessons, the pain, the suffering, whatever it is you went through, whatever it is that you're going through, that you learn how to take those lessons and use them for the betterment of humanity. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.